What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we're going to be reacting to some various news bloopers that I've found that are just all insane in their own right. Make sure you keep watching until the very end, because one of them, the news anchor, actually lost his job as a result of this, so it's pretty insane to watch. Without further ado, we're going to just start things off in the deep end, in my opinion, and this is quite a long clip, so I'm going to be showing it in little segments, but basically this lady forgets her lines live on the air, and they refuse to cut away to literally anything else. I don't know why, they just let her squirm, and it is the worst thing to watch ever. Check this out.
Well, Debbie, it happened here around this time last night here on Worsley Drive. Now, we're at the entrance of Worsley Park right now, where there are two speed bumps, one you can see behind me. It was here that a 17-year-old girl was riding on her skateboard while also holding on to a Jeep.
All right, first things first, sketching is literally the dumbest thing you could possibly do. I understand it's possible in the older Tony Hawk games and everyone wants to try it, but holding on to the back of a car while you're skateboarding just is so dangerous and stupid. So don't do that, or else you might end up on the news like this girl did. And so far, I gotta say, this lady's killing it. She's looking like a normal news anchor, you know, just going through her strides, until you can tell here that she starts to forget her script and she starts saying in between about every word. Pretty hilarious.
Now, according to the police report, the injuries were not serious, but the girl was rushed to hospital. There's no update at this time on her condition. In the meantime, the RNC has issued a statement saying that...
Oh, it's already painful here. Like, at this point, I would have been like, all right, we're having some technical difficulties. She's, her earpiece isn't working. We're gonna cut away to a different story. Because already you can tell that she's just completely off the rails, has not remembered the rest of this script, and is instead like, the RNC, you know, she was on a skateboard, and holding on to a car, and things didn't end up too good for her. She got hurt, and, yes, so she was in a lot of pain after that one. Like, just stop talking. You're not doing news at this point. You're recounting a story poorly.
The driver of the vehicle was also a 17-year-old girl. The RNC says calls like this are not common. Calls like this are not common.
Whoa, bro. So not only is she unable to say this sentence, and she starts doing that nervous pace that I'm doing every time I'm on a phone call, she then drops an F-bomb and is just like, oh crap, everything's going wrong. I'm literally gonna lose my job from this. Thankfully, this lady did not get fired. That is an upcoming clip, but let's just keep watching her turmoil and see how she gets out of this one. We're now sitting on about a minute worth of just stalling at this point.
The RNC says calls like this are not common. Now, in the meantime, they are urging people to...
Bro, are you kidding me? Not once throughout this whole thing, someone in the control room for this news company is like, hey, boss, maybe we should switch the cameras? You know, go to a different story? She's having a tough time. Like, whoever was in charge of this network just has way too much faith in this woman recovering at this point. He's like, no, sit it out. She's gonna redeem herself. Let's see it. Come on. I believe in you. Like, clearly this lady just lost her lines. Someone please bail her out. Instead, she just has to pace back and forth, and this is the most painful thing to watch ever.
Not.
Thanks very much to Avneet for that, and it is a story that we'll keep an eye on. Certainly a lot of concern on behalf of the RNC for letting everybody know about this.
And in the end, thankfully, her co-anchors, you know, do start to get the idea that she just will not remember these lines for the life of her and bail her out. But it ultimately ends with her just taking the L and turning and walking away from the camera slowly. This is just such a sad scene, and I really hope she's just, you know, been a lot better about this lately. I'm sure she still works as a news anchor, but that would just haunt me, and I would lay awake thinking about that pretty much every night. Oh, that is a terrible memory to have. And it's now been further immortalized on the internet by just being on this clip. So shout out to whoever filmed this. Yo, real quick before we move on, guys, do me a big favor. My analytics show that only 39% of you watching are actually subscribed. I don't know what's up with that, but if you guys are already watching the videos every day, you might as well join the Grim Squad officially, so hit that subscribe button. But anyways, let's keep this moving. Before we get into another really crazy one, I just want to show you guys this tiny clip of these anchors talking after a story, and for some reason, that's when the most awkward moments happen. It's like when they're trying to transition from story to story and they don't really know what to talk about. It's kind of, you know, off the top. And sometimes they just really accidentally say the weirdest stuff possible.
No one likes ties. Winner. Yeah, always want to win. I mean, I like bow ties, but That's how you got a new one. Yeah, it looked like a birthday present and all that. Thank you so much. You want to open me? Find out what's in? It's cold and...
Oh, no, dude. Ugh, this is just one of those moments that a lot of you guys will experience if you're not an adult already. When you start working at a job, there's always that one guy that just harshens the mood by saying some really weird stuff. And this guy is a perfect example of that. Now, I'm sure he didn't mean to make it weird. He was just struggling to think of something to say. But for some reason, the first thing to go to his brain when his coworker says, "Hey, you're tied up with a bow tie. You look like a birthday present." His first reaction to that is, "Do you want to open me and find out what's in?" First of all, that makes no sense grammatically. And second of all, that is not something you should ever say to your coworker, bro. Just keep those thoughts inside, please. I know you didn't mean to make it awkward, but now just the entire crew is gonna be like filled with this air of cringiness for the rest of this broadcast. So now that was pretty bad, but this next one is literally just terrible. I don't know what was going on in this man's mind when he was doing this. But this is for Good Day Sacramento, which I'm guessing is a morning show over in Sacramento, California. And this guy is simply checking out a vintage car dealership, or I guess convention that's going on. They got a lot of these old hot rods that have probably been meticulously restored, and you'll see shortly what he's doing to these cars. That ends up making him lose his job.
Hi, how many cars are there?
Hey, my friends. What was that question? How many cars are there?
Yeah, total.
Yeah, there's about, oh, yeah, you're going to throw me on the spot, huh? And ask me that question?
So first things first, this guy's already acting weird. I have no idea where he's standing. The cameraman's kind of just filming this building emptily while he's like, "Oh, you're really gonna put me on the spot and ask me about the specific story I'm working on right now, huh? You're really gonna do that?" Like, yeah, that's kind of your job. You're literally a reporter who is reporting on this car expo, but I guess you don't need to know your facts. That's okay.
You know, today or this weekend, you can come out and find about 562 cars. Now, I don't know.
563, Angel. 563.
So first things first, he's got his facts wrong, and secondly, this guy is just talking way too casual. I know they're trying to keep it fun and, you know, hip, but this guy is just seeming very unprofessional, and I have no idea how he got this job, but luckily he's not working it much longer.
You know, the funny thing is, the only person out here is the media coordinator. It doesn't start till later in the day, so I have no one to talk to except for the Ford rep, and so I'm just completely winging it, okay?
Oh, that's definitely something you want to admit while you're doing a news story, is that you truly don't know anything and no one's there to help you, so you're just kind of winging it. But regardless, I don't know who let him in this building with all these classic cars. Maybe they didn't realize what kind of reporter this guy was, because he's about to go on a rampage with these classic cars. And while it may seem small to some of you guys who are like, "Oh, I mean, he's not doing much to these cars," at a place like this, you simply just don't touch any of the automobiles at all, because people have spent so much of their hard-earned money and time rebuilding these meticulously, like I said, and it's pretty disrespectful to lay your hand on literally any of them. So let's see him do just that.
So no one is out here to tell me which car I can't go in, because you know some of these are off limits. So I'm gonna live on the wild side. Tell me what you think about this pose right here, Tina.
Bro, what are you doing? He just admits to himself, "Hey, I know a lot of these are off limits. They told me beforehand I wasn't supposed to touch it. So I have this bright idea. I'm gonna pose on the back of this car and put my freaking shoes all on it and scuff it up." This man is just frustrating me. How could he think that he was making good content at this point? Maybe he was trying to go viral and just be, you know, zany and wacky, but really this is just entirely cringe.
I think it's a 1950, 99, yeah, right. And oh no! I hit that other car.
This guy's got to be on something, right? Like, nobody handles themselves this unprofessionally when it is literally their job and they know that they're being filmed by a camera, being beamed up to probably hundreds of thousands of people watching at any given time. How could you be just so flippant with your actions? He opens the door and just haphazardly hits it on the other classic car parked right next to it. That is enough to get you fired right there. I'm surprised the person who was there, like the Ford rep that he was talking about, didn't try and tell him, "Hey, maybe stop touching these cars because you're a bit of a moron." And clearly this guy just has no idea what he's talking about. I'm so confused at why they chose this specific dude to film this specific story, because it's just a train wreck, or a car wreck, I guess you could say. And I don't think he broke anything else. He kind of runs around and talks with the Ford rep for a while, which is kind of cringy. They're just going over the products. I guess he's doing his job pretty legitimately for a couple minutes. I will give him that. Until he pulls this move at the end, and he moves over to the Ford vehicles here and sees one completely gated off. So what does he do? Watch this. He just makes a bigger joke of himself, basically.
Okay, nobody's looking?
6 o'clock.
Okay, here we go.
Now as he does this, I will say, so, oh my gosh.
Oh, that didn't sound good.
I would get off that now.
Even the co-anchors are like, dude, get off that. Please, you're embarrassing the network. Like, what is going on here? No one cut away on both of these clips, the first one and this one that I showed you guys. A lot of the fault has to be with the control room because they could have switched over at any point during these train wrecks and they chose not to. Someone take away this man's privileges of being a news anchor because he is just not taking it serious enough. He's over here jumping on cars, denting this brand new car that Ford has on display that has literally a metal bar around it, trying to block people from coming in. It's pretty crazy, but that about does it for today's news bloopers. I know I'm kind of switching it up with this video and the Karen video, but I figured we could react to, you know, a wider range of clips than just television. So let me know what you guys thought of this down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.